the pomodoro technique is kind of a lie. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't really work that well, especially if you're doing 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. And I kind of just thought of this today. I've thought of this idea about the pomodoro technique not really being very useful quite a lot, to be honest. But I just thought of this today because I basically just finished working for like 5.5 hours straight, right? With pretty much just 1 or 2 very, very short breaks. And that just made me realize that the idea that we can only actually focus for 25 minutes or 50 minutes straight, and then we need a break to be able to operate at peak focus, is kind of just a lie to basically create another method for increasing productivity that isn't actually needed. And so if you do actually want to get properly productive, to really be able to do consistent deep work and actually get what you want to get done, you should focus on improving your skill of focus and being able to work for long periods of time without a break. And obviously something like the pomodoro technique can be really useful at the start when you aren't good at that yet, but you kind of want to build up that skill over time. And if you think about it, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years ago, when humans were hunting, they had to sit and stare at, a bush or like a certain bit of land for hours and hours straight with full focus, because that was the only way to actually hunt animals and get the food that they needed for survival. And so it is possible for us to do it. It's just that in the modern world, with so many distractions, with our phones, with other websites, with just notifications, all that kind of stuff, it's very, very difficult to actually just focus for a long period of time. So remove those distractions. Obviously that's easier said than done, but then work on actually improving your skill of focus and being able to work for long periods of time, instead of just sort of coping and saying that, oh no, I'm doing the pomodoro technique is good. Because another point is that getting into flow state, right? Like when you're properly, like fully focused, time kind of slows down or speeds up or whatever, and you just can focus entirely on basically doing the task, your sort of peak state of performance. That takes about 23-ish minutes to get into, depends person to person. Obviously it's like 15 to 25-ish minutes. And that obviously means that if you're working for only 25 minutes at a time, you're not getting into flow state, or like you're getting into flow state and then instantly getting back out of it. And so basically take these ideas in mind and really just think about them when you're planning out how long you're supposed to be working for, or looking at how you're going to actually be increasing your deep work, because you really just want to work as much as possible and improve that skill by progressively overloading the amount of time you're working for over weeks and months, to get to the point where you can actually work for like 4 hours straight, 6 hours straight, right? And of course breaks and rest are very important as well, so I'm not saying they're not. It's just that the pomodoro technique, I believe, gets them wrong. So if you want more advice like this in terms of productivity, deep work, focus, flow state, and all the other kinds of things, planning, routines, tracking, that kind of stuff, there's a link in the description of this video to join my free community, where there's actually a free course there that talks about this kind of stuff in a bit more detail with some more actionable advice. And there's also a link below that if you actually want to book a call and talk to me one-on-one, see how I can help you in that way. So yeah, have a great rest of your day.